In the near future, every object on Earth will be generating data, including our homes, our cars, even our bodies. Almost everything we do today leaves a trail of digital exhaust, a perpetual stream of text, location data, and other information that will live on, well after each of us is long gone. We are now being exposed to as much information in a single day as our 15th century ancestors were exposed to in their entire lifetime. But we need to be very careful, because in this vast ocean of data, there's a frighteningly complete picture of us. Where we live, where we go, what we buy, what we say. It's all being recorded and stored forever. This is the story of an extraordinary revolution that's sweeping almost invisibly through our lives, and about how our planet is beginning to develop a nervous system, with each of us acting as human sensors. This is the human face of big data.
All these devices and machines and everything we're building these days, whether it's phones or computers or cars or refrigerators, are throwing off data.
Information is being extracted out of toll booths, out of parking spaces, out of internet searches, out of Facebook, out of your phone.
Tablets, photographs, videos.
Every single thing that you do leaves a digital trace.
The exhaust or evidence of humans interacting with technology and what side effect that has, and that's literally, it's just this massive amount of data.
What we're doing is we're measuring things more than we ever have. It's that active measurement that produces data.
If you were some omniscient God, and you could look at the footprints of electric devices, you could kind of see the world. If the whole world is being recorded in real time, you could see everything that's going on in the world through the footprints. I think it's a lot like written language, right? It's just, at some point they got to the point where you had to start writing it down. You just got to the point where it wouldn't work unless we wrote it down. We're sort of getting to the same point where, well, it ain't gonna work unless we write all the data down and then look at it.
And all that data coming in is big data.
We estimate that by 2020, the data volumes will be at about 40 zettabytes. Just to put it in perspective, if you were to add up every single grain of sand on the planet and multiply that by 75, that would be 40 zettabytes of information.
All of the data processing we did in the last 2 years is more than all the data processing we did in the last 3,000 years.
And so the more information we get, the larger the problems will be that we solve.
The first real data set to change everything in the world was the astronomical data set, meticulously collected over tens of years by Copernicus, that ultimately revealed, even though the sun seemed to be moving over the sky every morning and every night, the sun is not moving. It is we who are moving. It is we who are spinning. It happened again when we suddenly could see beneath the visible level, and the microscope in the 1650s and 60s opened up the invisible world. And we, for the first time, were seeing cells and bacteria and creatures that we couldn't imagine were there. It then happened again when we revealed the atomic world, when we said, wait a second, there's a level below the optical microscope where we could begin to see things at billionths of a meter, the nanometer scale, where we imagined the atom and the nucleus and the electron, where we understood light as electromagnetic frequencies. But now, there's actually a super visible world coming into play. Ironically, big data is a microscope. We're now collecting exabytes and petabytes of data, and we're looking through that microscope using incredibly powerful algorithms to see what we would never see before.
Before, what we did was we thought of things, and then we wrote it down, and that became knowledge. Big data is kind of the opposite. You have a pile of data that isn't knowledge, really, until you start looking at it and noticing, wait, maybe if you shift it this way and you shift it this way, this turns into this interesting piece of information.
I think that the BD-AD moment, before data, after data moment, is really search. That was the moment at which we got a tool that was used by hundreds of millions of people within a few years, where we could navigate an incredible amount of information. We took all of human knowledge that was in text, right, and we put it on the web. And we thought to ourselves, well, we're done. Wow, that was hard. And now we realize that was the first minute of the first inning of the game, right? Because that was just the knowledge we already had and the knowledge that we continue to add to the web at a relatively slow pace, you know. But there is so much more information that we have not digitized and so much more information that we're about to take advantage of.